Okay, any questions about meaning and purpose, the difference? So meaning equals value, purpose equals how do I get that value? Very, very simply. So where does it come from? What are some sources of meaning and sources of meaning and purpose. So we talked about how meaning could be discovered, meaning could be created, but what does that potentially look like? So I've got a few different examples here that we can look at. So serving others, helping and caregiving strengthen purpose and well-being. So by serving others, kind of a similar example we just talked about, that is value for many individuals. For many individuals who serve, a lot of it could be linked to religion. So a lot of major religions promote service to other people. Same with other organizations. I just think off the top of my head, the Rotary Club. They're very, very focused on service because they believe that service ultimately creates that meaning. That meaning is why are we here? To serve others, and hence value. And then the purpose represents those little tidbits or the hows or the methods used to ultimately serve other people. You think about learning and achievement. I mean, think about yourself right now sitting in this room. You're all sitting here listening to a talk and you're at school at Fanshawe because you probably value something. You probably have your education and learning is meaningful to you. There's value there, right? So how do you tap into that value or that meaning? Well, you come to class, you take notes, you participate. So again, there's another couple of really good examples of how that meaning and the purpose go hand in hand. Many individuals find tremendous meaning and purpose connected to their faith and spirituality. Doesn't necessarily have to be organized religion. I want to make that very clear. It doesn't necessarily have to be following, Christianity or Hinduism or Judaism or Islam or whatever it happens to be. We're going to talk a little bit more about the difference between religion and spirituality in chapter 9. But again, oftentimes this is a method that some people use to try to connect our spirit to something greater than ourselves. And relationships. So think about a person that you're really close with or a person that you really enjoy spending time with in your life and how much value that has to you. Maybe it's a close friend, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a child. You think about that relationship and it holds value. So when it comes to purpose, you think about what is it that you're going to do to nurture that relationship that you have. And oftentimes, you have to do things, or you choose to do things for a person that you don't really want to do. Think about it. When's the last time a friend or someone you're close with asked you for a favor, asked you for help, and you kind of grumbled and went, I don't really feel like doing this right now, but our relationship has meaning, it has value. So even though I don't really want to do this and it's going to cause me a bit of discomfort, I'm going to do it anyways because the relationship has meaning. So hopefully that might resonate with some of you when you think about it, where this meaning and this purpose come from. Let's look at a few other examples. And again, there are going to be some examples of or sources of meaning and purpose that are not on here. These are just some of the big ones that we can hit. These two, creativity and beauty in nature, I think are somewhat underrated in my opinion. So orient ourselves. So creativity, play, and self-expression hold value. Beauty, nature, and the drive to adventure hold value. So they're valuable. Does anybody here, do any hobbies or play any sports or do any activities at home? Some of you probably do, right? Again, does anybody want to share what they like to do? So that right there would be a great example of the creativity, play, and self-expression. So that probably holds some value for you, right? Very much. Okay? So there's a perfect example right there. Many of you may have other hobbies or activities that you like to do, and I saw you smile when you talked about that, and we could see the value present. Again, all of this holds value, holds meaning. And so the purpose, why are you doing this? Well, why are you making those? I can't remember what you called them, but why are you doing that? It's because, well, it's valuable to me. It makes sense. Yeah, beauty and nature is another underrated source of meaning. One of my favorite things to do myself, and I would recommend it to anyone, is if you're feeling sort of down in the dumps or a little bit low or overwhelmed in any way, a walk through nature can oftentimes do wonders to clear things up. In London, there are so many different nice spots. I don't know if any of you have explored the city and the parks that they have. There's one kind of close to where I live called, is anybody familiar with the Byron area by chance? Sort of. So in the Byron, it's kind of borderline between Byron and Westmount by Commissioners and I think Byron Baseline. Anyways, there's a decommissioned quarry there. Anyways, the City of London owns it now. But I remember walking through there randomly just with the dog and just standing there and seeing this giant open pit in the city. It was, and with the sun setting, it was just incredible. And it just leaves you in awe, you know?
You can walk there now?
You can get in. You can get in. I mean, it says it's no. So to my knowledge, it was owned by Lafarge, but the city now owns it. So it's city property, technically, even though the signs say no trespassing.
Okay.
So
You won't get arrested if
I don't think you're going to get arrested for going in there. I mean, I think the London police have other more important things to tackle than going after someone.
you set a fire.
Yeah, which that's a problem. But I mean, yeah, I think that the city has more important things to tend to than somebody who wants to go and just enjoy beauty and enjoy nature, which creates value. So again, highly encourage you to get out and do that. It can work wonders to helping you create and discover meaning and value. These next couple are where things get a little interesting. So self-responsibility as a source of meaning. So value in being responsible for yourself. Underrated and very, very closely tied to the concept of wellness as we know it in this course. We're going to spend a whole chapter talking about self-responsibility and a few other things as well linked to it. But again, the ability to own your choices, literally the second piece to defining wellness, to say, I made this choice. Nobody made this choice for me, I did it. And I'm going to accept whatever consequences come from that choice can be a tremendous source of value to people. And so we'll talk more about self-responsibility in greater detail in, I think next week we'll get into that. And then the final one here is one that, again, is some students wrestle with, which is suffering. Each one of us have undergone some form of suffering in our lives. And there are many different forms of suffering. Of course, you think of the physical, but there's emotional, where you are experiencing these emotions inside you that are just so powerful and so intense. And you're not sure how to manage it, how you can possibly move forward. You think about, you think about some of the mental suffering and the mental pain that individuals experience. It can be really overwhelming. But if you're able to attribute meaning to that, if you're able to actually find value in that because it's going to eventually lead you to somewhere else, that can be a tremendous source of purpose. So I want to make sure that stays in the back of your mind as we move forward in today's class. Okay? Thinking about them. Again, some of these may stand out to you, some of them may not. Good to keep it in mind going forward. You'll also note that meaning and purpose, so the value that you have in life and how you get there is going to change over time. So I would say many of us in this room are probably in the cusp of one of these two segments here. So in this sort of hybrid zone. But I want you to maybe take a step back and reflect on your childhood when you were younger, so less than 18 years of age less than 18 years of age, and think about what you found valuable at that time. What gave life meaning? What gave life value? And then I want you to ask yourself, do you still find a lot of those things valuable today?
Like extracurricular activities and sports.
Yeah, some of them. So there are definitely some things or some aspects that carry over and the value that you had.
Are you asking what did carry over?
Either or.
Oh,
Either or, yeah. Oh, that didn't? Okay. So then that works too. No, it's all good. I guess my question is, there's going to be some things that what you value at 10, you're also going to value at 30, and you're also going to value when you're 70. There are some that do carry over, but there are a lot of things or entities that don't necessarily carry over. You know what I mean? They don't carry over. You found it valuable when you were younger. You found meaning in something when you were younger, but then you got a little older and you don't find it meaningful anymore. And that's perfectly normal. Perfectly normal as you grow and as you evolve. It's going to happen. You're going to find more value in things when you're older that maybe you found little to no value when you were younger. So, for example, for myself, I think about going to Mass. When I was younger, I had absolutely no interest in doing that at all. It was like pulling teeth to get me to go to Mass. But now I'm in this bracket, if you hadn't figured that out, I find tremendous value in it now. And you see there's change. Something that holds little to no value, now it holds a lot of value. And it can go the other way too. Something that I held a tremendous amount of value on when I was 13, now not so much. So some things to think about as we move forward and as we start to approach our self-reflections. You're all going to get a chance to reflect a little bit and write and get some thoughts on paper. Just things to think about and consider as we continue along here, because we're nearing the end of today's class, which is exciting.